I can't say I've ever put my feet on wet grass and been like, man,
I hate wet grass.
I'm
Right.
not a fan.
Dude, but like wet socks,
Oh my god, that's my thing.
that's bad.
I have 2 pet peeves, right? Wet socks and soggy cereal.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Welcome back to the Infinitea Podcast. We're here on our
Second episode.
Didn't think we were going to get this far, but
Never.
still
We'll
going
probably
strong.
only get to about 7 episodes. But
Maybe.
thank you for watching, listening, subscribing, liking, sharing, all the other stuff. The positive feedback has been great, and we're very excited to bring you more content in the very near future with lots of guests. Without further ado, let's introduce our guest, the infamous, maybe famous, I don't know, the actual, factual, real culprit of the 2016 Hamburger incident. Our guest, Jeff Joseph. What's up, guy?
Hey guys, thanks
How
for
you
having me.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
What's up, Jeff? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for
You
having me.
tired?
I'm excited.
Oh, no problem.
You
We're gonna
know,
get into it today.
people always tell me I got a lot of opinions, and
You do.
I'd say that's true.
I
so.
would love to hear them all. We should start with this week's questions. So this week on Instagram, I think we should just make that a
Like
segment.
weekly
Right. A weekly segment is just going to be this week's question. So this week's question,
Just one?
right? Well, yeah, this week was my one question. Last week, you guys had questions and we had answers. This week, we had the question, you guys had answers.
Wow. Flipping the script. I like it. I like it.
So this week I asked, what are some of your pet peeves? So we'll start out with some of the ones I got, and then we'll get into our own. Some of the good ones we got, bad grammar, right? And Y-O-U-R, absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
See, I get that, but at the same time, like, I really don't care. As long as I know what you're trying to say.
Right.
Listen, I get that as well, but like there was one time in the past where I was texting this girl, straight, super hot, great looks. I can't. But so I started texting her, and she just, the grammar, she used every wrong form of everything possible. Your, there. It was just wrong, and I was like, and I'm so like, I wouldn't say I'm uptight, but it's just like, I don't know, to me it just seems like kind of a simple thing that
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, no. If it's excessive, definitely I'd get like a little bit.
Like, if I can't understand what you're saying, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
You know what low key is like kind of within the texting a pet peeve? When people don't capitalize the first letter. And like I know some people, they're like, I'm like, did you not turn on like auto caps on your phone? I'm like, no, I do it on purpose. I'm like, so you take the time to unselect it in the corner, and they're like, yeah. I'm just like, why?
I'm not gonna lie, that's an aesthetic of mine. I
That's
never capitalize the first thing in my text unless it's like a name, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if I say, Jeff, what are you doing, right? Then I'll make your name capital, or if it's like, if it's like when you're supposed to capitalize it, besides the beginning of a sentence, right? So that's the only time I guess I'll capitalize it. Every other time I go lowercase.
Sometimes I don't even capitalize names. Like, if your name doesn't auto cap, I'm not
Right,
gonna,
right.
like, I'm not going to take the time to like
It is
sit
what it
there,
is.
like highlight
Right.
it, go back in the message,
Right.
and like delete a letter just to make it capitalized. Like,
That's cool.
if your name's not capitalized,
Mhm.
like, whatever.
Next, people who chew with their mouth open.
That's a big one.
Yeah, honestly, I hate that stuff. Like, who would ever do that?
And like, also, I'm a culprit of this sometimes,
Mhm.
so like can't really complain too much.
Right.
But speaking with food in your mouth as well, and
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I'm a culprit of that, but what my two sisters, they tell me all the time is I don't chew with my mouth open, but I just chew. Me and my dad, they say we chew really loud. And they always tell me that, and I'm like, I mean, I guess, but like, I don't know how to chew.
Right.
That's just how
I could definitely see that being a pet peeve of like a lot of people.
and
Loud
it's like,
chewers.
and I must be that bad because there'll be certain times in my house where I'm just eating. They'll literally just get up and leave the room because
Right.
it's that. I mean, like, I'm sorry if it's that bad. I don't know if anybody has any tips on how to chew quieter. Please let me know.
Hit my boy up.
speaking of which, like, I have a problem whenever I'm like watching a movie or watching a TV show, and I'm just like eating popcorn or like eating whatever, like cereal, whatever, and like just a loud crunch, and I can't even hear the TV, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like,
you gotta
That's why
turn on
need
the subtitles.
Right.
Turn on the subtitles.
Like the aesthetic, I guess. Like the cool thing to do is like hate on people that turn on subtitles. like I watch my stuff with subtitles on. I don't have a problem because I can read fast.
Well, listen, I saw a tweet today and it said people that are hating on people for watching with subtitles can't read fast. They can't read fast.
Your comprehension and like your reading speed just has to be doo-doo. Straight doo-doo.
I think the funniest thing though is the other day on YouTube I was watching a No Jumper interviewed Young Thug, and Young Thug was speaking perfect English, but they still not perfect English. He was speaking English, but they still put subtitles over what he was saying, and I think that's such a testament if you're speaking English, your native language, but you still need subtitles for people to understand what you're saying.
But I love Young Thug. I think his music is dope, but like it's like really hard to understand what he's even saying. Half the time I'm just listening and like I'm nodding my head. Just to the music. I have no idea what he's actually saying.
Also, shout out to Young Thug. We share the same name. He spells it different, but shout out to all the Jeffreys out there.
Next one is when people are on their phone, or people find the need to be on their phones 24/7. I find it pretty annoying, especially if you're trying to have a conversation with somebody. And like, actually what I think I find more annoying is when someone's not able to multitask. It's like, I don't care if you're on your phone, but if I can't have a conversation with you while you're on your phone, then I get annoyed.
Dude, honestly, you're kind of pissing me off right now. We're trying to have a conversation. Your phone's out. Your computer's out.
Dang it,
True,
dude.
he's got the phone. He's got the phone. You know what I realized, though? Like, so the other day I just took the LSAT for the first time, and you're not allowed phones during that test, so it was 3 hours. And honestly, I think that was the longest I've ever gone without my phone for a very long time.
That is sad.
Like, it's really it is pretty
sad,
it is pretty bad. Like, you don't really realize it until you're like in it. It's so crazy, like these days with all the Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, with all the content. It's almost like, and I find myself, as bad as it is, like if I'm just like sitting down eating at home, like I'll just put like YouTube on. Like I'm always consuming something. I know, but you don't realize it. It's constant. Yeah. Remember when we were kids, we didn't have that available to us, so we'd actually have to.
I feel like we still did watch TV though. Like I don't know how much TV I watched while I was eating. I feel like my parents were pretty strict about that. But now, for sure, every meal I eat almost, I'm always consuming content. But like I feel like my reasons might be a little bit different than everybody else's. I'm always looking for like my next topic, the next thing. I'm always like really catching up on film on what to do next in terms of like creative content. But I also watch like a lot of things just for entertainment. While I'm eating, I'm consuming content almost every single second of the day that I can.
You know what is crazy though? So I work at a restaurant, and the one time I was taking this young family to their seat, and they had a kid. He was probably 5 or 6 years old. Mm-hmm. I was taking them to their seat or their table, and I heard him. He was going, "Mom, ask him," and he kept saying it the whole way to the table. And I'm like, what is this? What am I gonna get asked when I get to this table? So I was kind of like, I was like, all right. So the kid sits down, and the first thing the mom says, she goes, "I'm so sorry, but can I have the Wi-Fi password?" And the kid pulls out an iPad. I can't tell you, every single kid that comes in the restaurant, like 8 and under, they have their own iPads, and it's so crazy because like when I always joke with the parents.
Books,
I'm like,
right.
No, we have like menus where they can color, but they never take the crayons.
They just anymore. It's just all about the iPads now.
I think it's mostly used for like a distraction. Like
they just put like a movie,
right.
Give it to the kid.
Which it makes sense. I get we're not parents, so I guess we won't really understand. But right. But I don't know. I feel like that's I know in the future I will try my best not to do that. Because I think, like, kids should go out there and, like, live their childhood. Maybe I'm biased in saying this, but, like, they should, like, live out their childhood the way it's supposed to be lived out. Playing outside with your friends, riding your bike to your friends, you know what I mean? Not FaceTiming, old Timmy over there and be like, "Hey, Timmy, you want to play Minecraft or something?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like the whole situation where kids are, like, being handed all this technology and it's, like, all up in their face 24/7, probably problematic.
Yeah. See, like, I had a phone pretty young. I was, like, 8 or 9, but like the thing about it was it was one of those Nokia ones.
Oh, okay. Indestructible.
It was just like, so it wasn't like I was on it 24/7.
Right, like you have to think the kids coming up, they get an iPhone now. Like my first phone was like a Samsung Rant with like the flip to keyboard.
Right. Oh,
you couldn't go on like the internet. Now they have literally everything in the palm of your hand. It's really, and that's kind of a double-edged sword, I would say, in itself, because I think when we grew out of our childhood phase, then this stuff kind of started to get traction. Mm-hmm. And so by that time we had a concept of like, how things were. When you're, a younger generation like that's coming up now, you don't have necessarily know how to deal with all the stuff that's with social media and stuff. But, you got 10, 11, 12-year-olds on there. It really is, take a step back and you're like, whoa, this is pretty, crazy. Do they even have the tools equipped to deal with it?
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
Next one was when people stand on an escalator. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure if you're supposed to sit on an escalator, if you're supposed to, do jumping jack. I think what she meant was a girl. I think what she meant was, when people just stand there instead of walking, up or down the escalator.
Okay, but isn't that the point of the escalator?
Right.
Like, the escalator is stairs without the walking, so shouldn't you stand on the escalator?
I'm going to feel really bad when she watches this and we're just sitting here roasting her.
I mean, I'm not trying to roast anybody, I think that's
I'll
the
roast
point.
her. Listen, that was a dumb question, I'm not going to lie.
No, I see both sides of it, because sometimes, you're trying to go, and, people are just standing there in the way. But, I don't know.
The first time I read it, I was like, what am I supposed to do? Just, sit on it or something?
I guess that's fair, and I'm thinking about all the times I've ever been in the airport. The airport they have the flat ones. I always walk on those. So, I guess I guess you're just trying to get where you're trying to get faster.
Yeah.
So
because it does speed it up. Cause
you're
moving and you're walking.
Right.
Yeah.
Next one was someone saying "calm down" when I'm completely calm. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't really piss me off.
Oh, that
pisses you off.
That really grinds my gears if you can't tell. I just think,
Calm down, Jeff.
Calm down.
No,
You're getting a little too angry right now, Jeff. I'm gonna need you to calm down right now, dude.
No, I just have. It's I almost feel like in the situations where people have used that on me, it's kind of just like a cop out to the actual. So if we're having an argument and you tell me to calm down, most of the times it's not because I'm out of control and need to calm down. It's just they're trying to portray I'm out of control, and then that somehow weakens the argument of what I'm saying, or I'm not right because I'm out of control, when that's not the case. So if I was actually going crazy and you guys were like, dude, relax, chill, I don't mind that, but I think the way people use that normally is kind of to deflect the actual argument. But
that makes sense.
Stops recording when I'm
going on?
Yes.
But it can still
So the next one was wet grass on my feet. I don't know.
First of all, that is oddly specific.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I don't know, if there was a traumatic childhood experience with wet grass, but I can't say I've ever put my feet on wet grass and been like, man,
I hate wet grass.
I'm really not a fan.
Dude, but wet socks.
Oh my god, that's my thing.
That's bad.
I have 2 pet peeves, right? Wet socks and soggy cereal. That's it. That's
hot take. Depending on the cereal, it's better soggy.
Which cereal?
Which cereal?
All right, so I'm talking about I'm a big. If you know me, I'm a big fan of Oreos. I love Oreos. Okay. Oreo O's, it's basically like a Cheerio with an Oreo.
Okay.
Those, I think you gotta let them get soggier, because any kind of harder cereal like that, like Cheerios, anything that's kind of, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the sogginess, if you don't, it will just cut the roof of my mouth. I don't know. Maybe I should eat wrong.
Really?
But that's what
I don't know, man.
I think you might be eating wrong.
I might.
Listen, I don't know what they taught you over there in colorblind school, but I think you might be eating your cereal wrong. Because every cereal that I eat, I'm a big fan of. I know people are gonna think it's gross, but I'm a big fan of Special K.
Special K Red Berry?
Yes, bro.
Dude, I had some this morning. Listen, if you're not eating Special K Red Berry,
you're doing it wrong.
You're sleeping on it.
Honestly,
you're sleeping on it. Seriously, my mom brought that home one time, and I was like, "What, Special K? This is for 45-year-old women. I'm not gonna eat this." And then my mom was like, "It's actually pretty good."
There's gonna be 4 45-year-old women.
We have two.
So sad.
We have 2 Sam's Club boxes at home right now, full of them. So
dude, when I eat that, it's usually a 3 or 4 or 5 bowl. Ordeal.
I put a little bit of sugar on top too.
Okay, I can't do that. That's a lot, because it is naturally sweet just to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So.
Dude, but speaking of cereals that your mom just randomly brings home, my mom bought the weirdest cereal, by far the weirdest cereal I've ever seen. It's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's Sour Patch Kids.
All right, I saw this. So there's Sour
disgusting.
Patch Kids cereal, ice cream, and I saw there's a bunch of Sour Patch flavors. That just.
No, I haven't even tried it yet, but I just know it's disgusting.
A couple people.
Speaking of which, we're trying cereals on the podcast next week. Tune in.
A couple people, when I do the ratings, if you guys don't follow me on Snapchat, Jeff Joseph, I do a bunch of ratings. I review things. A lot of people suggested
links in the bio.
The
description.
Sour Patch stuff. I didn't get it just because I thought I would take one bite and then just hate it, and I didn't want to waste the money.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in that.
No, I literally looked my mom in the face. I was like, "Why'd you buy that? like, no one's gonna eat this." And she's like, "Oh, you like Sour Patch Kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, the candy."
That's like candy.
Right,
Not
it's
as a,
totally
not as a
different.
breakfast
Bro,
cereal.
that's like-
disgusting as a cereal.
Yeah.
You probably gotta get a cracker.
Man, that would be-
breakfast, man.
That would be a crazy concept if you applied that to other things in life. Like you like it in one form, but in another form it just
Ooh,
be
that would be a
totally
great topic, honestly. I'll
totally
something.
wrong.
Next one was people who drive slow in the fast/left lane.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
everybody-
That's me. I'm one of those.
You drive
people.
slow in the left
Well,
lane?
listen. Like I just get in the left lane because I don't have to worry about anybody else around me. And then like my dad made a comment one time. He's like, "Yeah, why are you always hanging out in the left lane?" I'm like, it's just kind of where I go.
Sure
And he's
is.
like, you're not really supposed to do that. But like when I was coming here earlier, I was doing 45. It's 45 out there.
Yeah.
Some dude was on me. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
That's what I don't understand. And what really is a pet peeve of mine is when you're doing, say it's like a 65, I'm doing 74, and you're still on me.
Right,
What do you
right.
want? Like,
What do you want from me?
what do you? I don't understand. I mean, are you trying to break the Atlantic like speed to sound barrier? Like what? I don't know what.
678 miles per hour.
Like I can understand if you're in a hurry, but like I don't know.
No, see, I don't mind if you're in that lane, but if somebody is riding up on you, just like kind of move over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And like I saw the other day, I was going out to Howland, and there was this trucker, and there was a kid in a Jeep. He's probably a little bit older than us. He just the trucker was trying to pass, and the kid got over, didn't let him, and was just straight flipping him off out the window for like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's gonna run him off the road or something. I got out of there. I was like, I'm taking this exit. Yeah.
dude, I'm scared of trucks too, like big trucks.
When I started
hate
driving
getting
when I was real, I think we all had that.
No,
like,
I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I was just never scared of like
Oh,
the big semis.
I was like trying to get over as much as I
Really?
could.
Dude, I just speed past them. Like, I don't want to be
Right,
next
right,
to
right.
them.
Like
Even now, I
still don't take like I don't take the time out of my day to like sit like right by them for obvious reasons. You know, it's like a 10-ton truck next to a little 2,000-pound or 1-ton car. But if I'm like near, I'll just like speed around them.
Yeah.
I don't like being
yeah.
in a situation where like I could die.
You know the worst one is though when the trucks with like the logs on the back or something. You're like,
Oh
dude, I've
my
seen way
God,
too many
dude.
Final Destination movies. I know what's
Oh,
happening,
man.
and I'm getting away
I
from
get
you.
PTSD. I remember one time I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and we were, I want to say somewhere in Cleveland, we're coming home. And this is going to sound really bad, but there was like a truck full of Mexicans, right, construction workers, no hate. And I guess they had a bunch of like construction like items in the back of their truck. And they didn't do a good enough job of securing it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
People-
shards of metal are flying like at our windshield. It like cracks like 3 places. Our tires like cut up, and like I get PTSD every time I see like a truck that has a lot of like stuff in the back that looks like it's gonna, fall behind.
Speaking of vans full of Mexicans.
What a segue! Wow.
No, but I gotta tell this story. It was the funniest thing. I saw like this car or like this van, and you're thinking like, oh, like there's probably like seats 7 or 8, whatever. I kid you not, they like pulled over at a gas station or something. I swear, promise you, 22 of them hopped out. I counted them. I don't know how they did it. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Like
in
a
my life.
clown car at the
Yeah,
circus.
I was literally just laughing. Like I thought they were done too, because there's a small break between like person like number 13 and like person number 14. So I thought they were done, and then like 9 more came out. I was like, what's going on?
Listen though, I think I fit, not me personally, it wasn't my car, 6 to 8 people in a Chevy Cruze one time trying to get home from downtown. Bro, you got to do what you got to do.
Okay,
when you don't
yeah,
have, when it's
right,
cold out,
right,
you don't have
right,
Uber,
Right.
Yeah.
you take what you can get.
That is what it is. The next one is, let's see, when someone leaves their trash in my car.
So that does happen quite a bit to
Me
me.
too,
For
me too.
for me, it's not that big of a deal. If you like trash my car, which I don't think there's ever really an opportunity to completely trash my car. So it's not normally it's just like a cup or something, and it's like say if I'm giving you a ride and we're going somewhere, and then like we're not going like back to my house, we're going to like the mall or something. Like I don't know, that
6th grade?
just dated me really
Right.
hard. Wow, kids in 5 years if they see this are like, what's a mall? We just go to the virtual Amazon store. But
Everything gets drone delivered.
right. But no, if you're not hopping out somewhere, and there's not a trash can. Like, what are they gonna do with it? I'd rather it be in my car than on the ground, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean?
True.
So I kind of
I
understand.
do get a little upset though when it's an indirect friend of yours. Like it's your friend's
Yeah,
like friend
yeah,
that
you
tagged
give them
along.
a ride, yeah.
Right, you
it's
give them a
like-
ride because like they're together, they're at a party, whatever, and you
Yeah.
go pick them up, right? And then like like usually when I DD for somebody, like I'll go and like we'll go get we'll stop somewhere so they can get food.
Yeah, T-Bell.
Right. T-Bell's always a late night spot, and it really kind of irks me when that friend of a friend leaves all that garbage in my car. I'm like, listen, guy, I don't even know you, so why would you like leave all this stuff in my car?
I guess in that light it could be a little disrespectful, but I don't know. I just don't take it that personal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him next time, like, hey, you should not leave any trash in my car. Speaking of trash, which way should the toilet paper be sitting on a roll? The paper rolling forward or the paper rolling backwards?
I think it's definitely forward, like coming forward, but I've definitely put it the other way around.
So you're saying like over the top?
Yeah, over the top.
Right.
Over the top.
That's the way I like it. But
Really? I used to like it the other way around, and every time I went to somebody's house and I saw it the other way, I would
Flip
go
it. That's
and I'd
evil,
go
bro. That's
flip
low
it.
key. That's like
No, because it just really like pissed me off to see toilet paper on the wrong way. But now I like it over the top.
that
Yeah.
doesn't bother me as much. I don't think.
This one says, when no one says we're out of milk. I think we could relate this one to the cereal thing. I think one of the worst things is when you
My family is so guilty of this. I already know what you're
pour a
gonna
bowl of
say.
cereal and you're like, ooh, this special K strawberry, red berry is really about to hit. It's like 1:30 at night. You're so hungry, right? And no milk.
Also, you know what my family does? They take it. So say they finish the bag of cereal, they put it back in the box
My sister
and then
does
leave
this.
it there.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, I wake up, I'm gonna start my day. I'm gonna get some cereal. No, just
Right.
kidding. It's
Nope.
it's gone. And that is one of the most disheartening things, I think.
or what they do is they just leave like
That you're like,
Like
what am I
this
gonna? Oh,
much.
I
I do
guess
that
I'll just
sometimes
scoop
to
it
get
out with
back
my
at it.
hand. I'll
Yeah.
just
So
eat
like-
it like
they're
dry
like,
cereal.
like, I didn't finish it, so I don't have to throw it away. It's like, yeah, but you left me like 1/5 of a bowl.
I'm
of
not
cereal.
gonna lie though, I do that. I
No,
do
no,
do that.
I
I'm like,
only
"Oh."
do that to get back at my sister, who then leaves like the empty bag in the box.
Mhm.
So sometimes I know like I'm about to finish it. I'll leave like enough where it's like it looks like there's a little bit in there, and then like you take it out, and it's like, wow, that's not even like a quarter of a meal.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one, people smoking cigs right outside a store or restaurant. To me, I think I just get mad when people smoke cigs in general.
Yeah, I was
So-
gonna say.
I have a funny story about this. So my family, for many years, we owned a cabinet shop in downtown Youngstown. We made a bunch of cabinets.
A cabinet shop.
Yeah, that's what we
That's
did.
lit.
But so I would always that closed around the early 2000s, and what I always remembered from going there as a kid is the smell. It was a very distinct smell, and whenever I would be in public, sometimes we just called it the shop.
Mhm.
So I'd be in public sometimes. I remember as a kid, and I'd say, "Oh, it smells like the shop, like that same aroma." Like and then it wasn't until many years later when I started working a summer job in construction, when guys were smoking cigarettes around me, that I realized that smell that I had associated with the cabinet shop was cigarettes. Because people, back in the day, you just smoke in there all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had this business for many, many years. So I had no idea that was the smell of cigarettes. So as weird as it is, I kind of like the smell of cigarettes.
Ooh.
But
Hot
only
take there,
only,
Matt.
be,
Hot
only
take.
because of
Very
that.
hot. Let's talk about this incident.
Oh, I'm glad you brought
Right,
this up
right,
'cause
right.
I thought
We
I
were
thought
gonna skip over that? Oh, no
Yeah.
chance. Over my dead body. All right, baby. Give me the rundown, Jeff. What happened?
So
Oh,
this had to be
2016.
2016. Okay, so senior year of high school. And
Why'd you lie?
we, we were at
We're getting deep.
so we were at one of my friend's house, and we were in front of our cars were in front of the house in a big line, and it was nighttime. We were out back, I believe, having like a bonfire, and so somebody went to leave, and from the bonfire, and then when they left, they came back behind the house and was like, "Hey, there's like hamburgers and stuff like all over your guys' cars," and we're like, "What?" So we go out to the street, and there's like legit hamburgers from like McDonald's like thrown against our cars. And my one friend had his windows down, and they threw it into the window, like into the car. So there was like ketchup and mustard like on his interior of his car.
Ooh.
And we were like, what just happened? So then like, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but then, so we're like, who did this? But they left the wrappers and it was from Burger King, I think. So two of my friends like went to Burger King and were like, hey, did a couple people just come through and buy like a bunch of hamburgers? They threw them at my friend's car. And the Burger King people were like, yeah, well, we had a couple people, and like they described them to my friends, and one of the descriptions was very distinct, and it fit one of Abhijit's good friends. And so at that point, we were like, well, it has to, because nobody looks like this kid. You know, he's very distinct hairstyle, very distinct look. So we were like, it's got to be them. So from that point on, I mean, we just kind of assumed it was them, but he likes to deny it every time.
He likes to.
What do you mean?
Well, let's break it down, right? So you may ask, well, Ab, where were you during said time? Grad party. I believe you were there.
Unverified.
Verified. I texted him. I said, hey, guy, where was I at 10-something that night or whatever time it may have been? He goes, oh, dude, you're at my grad party. We're at a big bonfire, right? So that was my alibi.
I mean, all I'm saying is it would have been really easy to text him beforehand and just be like, hey, I'm going to text you this in 5 minutes, and then delete the messages, and he responds.
Right.
So
but what reason do I have?
I just don't know who else it could have been based on the very accurate and very specific description we got from the Burger King drive-thru.
Do you still genuinely think
I
that
do.
it's us?
I know it is. I know it is.
He will take it to the grave that he thinks it's us, even though I've told my closest friends, right? And we have a mutual friend that I've like become really close with, and I told her, listen, girl, if it was me that did it, I would have told her. Because like at this point, like it's like we're 3 years, 4 years past, right?
He's 2 feet away from me, and he's lying through his teeth.
This guy, he's gonna take it to the grave. Dude.
And listen, so after that happened, I want to say.
Can we talk about the receipt situation?
I
would love to talk about that.
Sure, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish first.
I was just gonna say
hit you with the facts.
A couple months later, we were at a different person's house in a different side of town, and the same thing happened, but only to my car. And they were hamburger buns, and not only were they hamburger buns, they were whole wheat. So
why is that funny?
I'm just saying, somebody whole wheat, like that's more expensive. Okay, somebody went out of their way to give me the good stuff, and they put it all over my car, through my antenna, in between my wheels, in between my door handles, and it rained that day, so they were soggy. And it was these guys. It had to be.
Honestly, I wish it was us, just because that's so funny.
That's the funniest story that I wish I could tell.
Exactly.
Like, hey guy, you know, like 4 years ago, I gave you whole wheat buns. I put whole wheat buns on your car.
Dude, especially because I'd tell you if it was me. Like,
right. Like, I'm never one to be like, oh, bro, I wouldn't do that. No, if it was me, I'd be like, Jeff, I did that.
Especially nowadays. That's
right.
hilarious.
Like, now it's like way past it, so.
Well, just a message for whoever did that, if it wasn't them. If you're out there, I will find you. And once I do, you're going to regret it.
You have a special set of skills.
I do. That I've acquired over a long period of time. I've had over 4 years to think about this and what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to let you know now, if it wasn't him...
This is why I can't go to sleep.
If it wasn't him...
I'm thinking about
this. I can't wait.
It keeps me up at night.
Dude, that's so funny.
Jeff, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. You don't have to look too far. Look about 2 feet to your right. That's who did it. No, I'm kidding.
Now, I do want to address the receipt situation real quick because, you know, the genius that you are came up with the fact that, oh, bro, if you were to use your card, you can't print out a receipt. But then you were the one that told me that a gift card was used, right? Unbeknownst to me because, you know, once again, I'm not the Hamburger culprit.
Dude, okay, first of all, who has a Burger King?
Can we talk about that? I mean, regardless of who did it, like that's just...
That's gotta be the funniest thing that I've ever seen. It
almost seems like the only reason someone would own a gift card to a fast food place would be to specifically commit an act like that.
That's actually pretty smart, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, this was 2016. I definitely wasn't that smart enough.
Hey,
I definitely would have used my card.
I guess so.
I would have paid in cash.
Right.
But
at that time, I didn't really use cash a lot. But, you know,
dude, let's talk about how they like gave all the descriptions of the people in the car or whatever.
Right.
And then we went back.
Right.
First of all, how'd you guys get the descriptions? Because we went back, asked these same exact questions.
Right.
They're like, oh, we can't give out descriptions.
Right.
We're like,
exactly what they said.
Can we see the surveillance? And
right.
they're like, no. You're like, you need a warrant for that. And we're like, what do you mean?
Like,
how did
honestly,
they get
what
the
keeps
description?
me up at night is the fact that I didn't go to the police or like the office or whatever.
Dude, we were so close.
Because like we could have gotten the video, but then like I don't know. I guess we got busy and like whatever happened. Like we ran out of like time basically.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2 weeks after, and after that was like whatever.
We were low key scheming too to get you back. We tried that one time.
Oh, I know.
We were sitting here,
and they were
waiting outside. We saw you guys coming.
But you guys parked. You were down the street. and your cars you were here, but then some of you were down the street, so we saw your cars, and then you came and we were like,
Right.
yeah.
No. I had. You may have a mole in your system because I had a hint or a tip that said people were coming to La Casa, Mi Casa, whatever, and it was my idea. I'm not gonna lie. I was scheming to hide in the bushes, right, and catch you red-handed.
I think all we had was peanut butter
Marshmallow.
and marshmallow.
Right.
It's a delicious sandwich combination, by the way. Anybody sleeping on peanut butter and marshmallow?
Maybe you come on the hamburger bun from your car.
Whole wheat, bro. Whole wheat. Healthy.
Dude, I just think it's funny how you guys were so confident that it was like
right, and it's
and it just wasn't. Like that's the funniest
I
part.
would feel
I guess-
so bad about myself. If
I guess
was
you're right.
That wrong.
Yeah.
No offense. Like I knew you're gonna take that to the grave, as am I, because we know damn well it wasn't us. Darn well it wasn't.
Honestly, like whoever did it, like please come forward. Like I just think it's hilarious.
Like I know it's been like forever.
Please,
I'm
if you're
dying
hearing
to know
this, if you're
who
hearing
did
this,
it.
let us know.
Please.
And I want to see how close the description that they gave
Right,
was to the actual person. Because
Because here's the thing,
completely
there were
wrong.
there were other people that somewhat fit the description too.
And they're because didn't they give a description of like multiple people?
Right,
in the car?
right.
And like our friend group and
Uh-huh.
like that friend group.
Right. Or the same
descriptions
exact,
could
they
like
had
match
the same exact
up
descriptions,
like
right?
so well.
I don't know, guy.
One of the great mysteries of the world.
I guess I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But
Dude,
anyway,
I'll tell you what I did. Like I did some stuff. I TP'd Alec Khan. Like I'll admit to the crimes I committed. Like I don't care.
I can't wait till he watches this.
Dude,
I don't
go
know if he's
ahead.
gonna get this far, but if he does, hey man, I didn't do it, so I'm sorry.
Dude, try to TP. And I'll TP you again. I'll TP you with
All right.
100 rolls.
Before Sammy incriminates himself anymore.
Right, we should
Um,
have this conversation off camera, and
No, we're
wrap
good.
this up.
Try to get me. I got attorneys on
talking.
lock. Jeff Joseph right here, my future attorney.
Anyway, to wrap this up, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, watching, liking, subscribing.
Thank
sharing.
you guys for having me. I
Right,
appreciate it.
no problem. I would love to have you back on sometime, and I'm excited for our off-camera conversation as well. Once again, you can listen to the Infinity Podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, and you can watch it on YouTube. I'm your host, Abhijit Kadawada. This is Sammy Cerise and our special guest, Jeff Joseph. This has been the Infinity Podcast. Boys, we're
Cheers.
out.
Wow.